Hi, Scott here again. Let's turn our attention in this video to something sweet. It's a lovely dessert, and it's a really simple dessert. Orange and carrot sorbet. It's a frozen dessert, and it only requires two major ingredients. Before I do that, the reason why I've got the roses here is that roses basically are the highest vibration, or create the highest vibration of any flower that's grown on planet Earth. On a scale of sort of 1 to 10,000, the rose sits at around 9,000. Rose petals are edible, but make sure that they haven't been sprayed with herbicide or pesticide or anything like that. But if you're growing them naturally in your garden, you can begin to integrate them into sweets, but you can also integrate them into salads as well. They taste absolutely marvelous. I'm not going to spoil my palate for the moment by munching on one of those, because we're actually going to do this dessert. Okay, so in the orange carrot sorbet, which is frozen dessert, two key ingredients. And we're actually going to do this or process in the Vitamix right now, because it'll give us the finer consistency that we're looking for. One large orange to a medium-sized carrot. Right now I'm doing 2 oranges to 2 medium-sized carrots because I've got guests coming and I'd like to actually give them something quite special. So let's just prepare these by dropping them into the Vitamix. Now, if you haven't got a Vitamix, and I know that a lot of you haven't got Vitamix because they're a bit of investment, a food processor is just as good. But what won't happen is you won't get the fine consistency that you're looking for with anything, whatever you're doing, whether it's soup through to this particular dessert or whatever. So we'll just drop those in there. All right, now you're going to need the, obviously you're going to need the top, and you're going to need the little product device. And let's just start off on a low speed for starters. And as you can see, it's actually starting to work away just on a low speed already. So let's bring that up. Bring the speed up. How amazing, beautiful. The smell coming out of here is just tremendous. Let's give it a burst on high. That's nice and fine. Okay. Off it goes. Now, serving something like this, you want something that's really, really special. And because this is so simple, you don't want to baffle your guest with a bit of culinary science, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you've actually served it up in something nice. And what I tend to do is actually look for something like this, which is a lovely mold with a lovely stainless steel inside. So when you actually fill it up and freeze it, and then just warm the outside in warm water and drop it onto a plate, it works brilliantly. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that out of here now. The colour is astounding. Pop that in there. And of course you're getting a citrusy orange colour here that's fit to beat the band. Okay. Just knock that down so it's nice and flat. And essentially it's there. I think the light might be in the way, but you can see it sitting in the mold. Now that's going to go in the freezer. Now it just so happens that I've done one already, and I'm going to pop it on the plate here and see what happens. And it should come out instantly, but I think it needs just a bit more water. So excuse me, I'll just dive behind the roses for a second. Just a bit more warm. That's perfect. And just run the knife around and just drop that like so. Now that's beautiful. How astounding. You're going to get a little bit of liquid as well. And I will just butterfly some. You just open those up, put them on one side. Here's some strawberries. And I'm actually going to just cut some mint up and put some mint over. Now, you can actually just use a grater and a little bit of orange rind, which I will do as well. And that just is picture perfect, just around it. But I will actually just drop a little bit of this to one side, and a little bit on the top, And there you have a really, really beautiful little dessert that honestly, the freeze time for this, an hour or so, presentation, and my mouth's watering, I can't believe it. The presentation is something you can play around with. You're looking at lovely greens and lovely oranges and lovely reds. The taste is superb. And let me just describe that to you very quickly. You don't taste the carrot. It's a lovely orangey consistency that's quite different. And it's one of those raw tastes that's really going to capture your imagination. So there we have pictures at the front and at the back of each of the videos. I hope you've enjoyed that quick dessert and the little bit of background on the rose. Try them sometimes. But that was the orange and carrot sorbet frozen dessert. Until the next video, I'm Scott Mathias. Stay raw.